A photoelectric cell is illuminated by a small bright source of light at 1 meter. If the same source of light is placed 2 meter away, the electrons emitted by the cathode. See, these four options are given. We have to choose the correct one. See this option. I have drawn a charged conductor and the three dots are representing the source of light. You can see the distances are varying. Now when the source is very close to that, let us say the charged conductor, what will happen? When you are increasing the distance, the intensity will drop. Okay, so when the intensity is dropping when you are going very far away from the conductor. So this intensity, when it drops, the number of photons released also will drop. So the number of photons reaching the emitter will also drop. Intensity is proportional to 1 upon d square. So when d is the distance, when the distance is doubled, the intensity falls by 1/4. So the photons also will fall by 1/4 amount. So look at option D. That option D is the correct answer here. Quarter of the previous number, they will remain as the quarter of the previous number. Okay, option D is the right answer. As per Bohr model, the minimum energy in electron volts required to remove an electron from the ground state of double ionized lithium atom, Z is equal to 3 is. See, the standard expression for energy, E is equal to 13.6, the minus 13.6 into Z square by N square, or RHC Z square by N square. R is Rydberg constant, H is Planck's constant, C is the speed of light. When you multiply these three also, you get another a constant value only, which is 13.6 in electron volts I am talking. Okay, now Z value here is 3 and ground state means N is equal to 1. So you put those values, you get 122.4 electron volts. So option D is the right answer. Let us move on to the next one. A hydrogen atom and Li++ ion are both in the second excited state. Second excited state means N is equal to 3. If their angular momentum are LH, Li and energy is EH and ELi, their respective energies, then which of the statement is true? See, as per the Bohr's postulate, the angular momentum in a particular orbit is constant. So here both are in the second excited state. So it will be nh by 2 pi. That constant is nh by 2 pi. H by 2 pi is a constant. N is the principal quantum number. So angular momentum will be constant. Okay. Now coming to the energy expression, E is equal to minus mz square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square h square. So here m, e, epsilon and h, if you consider as constant, E is proportional to z square. If the atomic number is increasing, z is the atomic number, energy value will also increase. Alright, but this total energy is a negative number. So if you look at here, this if you talk about the energy as a mathematical figure, what is happening is EH is less than ELi. Okay, look at option B. Angular momentum is equal, whereas energy of the hydrogen atom is less than energy of the lithium atom. Okay, option B is the right answer. The work function of a substance is 4 electron volts. The longest wavelength of light that can cause photoelectron emit from this substance is approximately. See, the work function phi is equal to h mu naught. Mu naught is the threshold frequency. Now it is equal to hc by lambda max. So this threshold frequency corresponds to the maximum wavelength. Why? Because lambda is in the denominator, hc is a constant. Okay, so maximum lambda, you get the minimum frequency, and that frequency is the threshold frequency as per the definition. So So work function, when you talk about the wavelength which is maximum. So here 5 values given to you, so we have to find out the maximum wavelength. If you put any other value, so let us say less than lambda max, you will end up with some other value for 5, isn't it? So unless otherwise you put the maximum value, you won't get the threshold frequency. So Hc by 5, see Hc is a constant, you multiply them, you get a constant called 1240 eV, electron volts, multiplied by nanometer. Okay, so that calculation I will show you. So lambda max is 1240 divided by 4, which is 310 nanometers. So here units you have to be very careful. H and C, if you multiply, basically the unit of H is what? Joule second, and speed of light is meter per second. So when you multiply these two, you get a unit called joule meter. So that has to be converted into electron volts and nanometer. How? Let us see. H value is 6.62 into 10 to the power of minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8. When you multiply these two, you get 19.86 into 10 to the power of minus 26. So this divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, because that is a conversion between joule and electron volt. 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. So finally you get 12.4 into 10 to the power of minus 7 electron volt meter. Okay, you have converted joule into electron volt. Now this is 10 to the power of minus something, so you have to shift decimal to the right. If you shift 2 decimals, 12.4 to the right, 124, then 1240. 1240, 2 decimals to the right, 1240 into 10 to the power of minus 9. 10 to the power of minus 9 means nanometer. So 1240 electron volt nanometer. You can remember this value. In other problems it may help you. An electron is 2000 times higher than a proton. It is not electron actually. A proton is 2000 times heavier than a electron actually. Okay, but I have written some mistake here. Basically proton is 1836 times heavier than electron. Both are moving such that their matter waves have a length of 1 angstrom units. Now he is saying that their wavelengths are same. Now the wavelengths are same. If you consider same time, the velocities will be same. Alright. Now when they are moving, they will possess kinetic energy. So E is equal to, one formula is half mv square, another is p square by 2m, where p is the momentum. So E divided by EP will be, because here see E is inversely proportional to the mass. So E means energy of the electron divided by EP, energy of the proton, is equal to mass of proton by mass of electron. So it is as per the question 2000 by 1. Option C is the right answer. Now an electron is, let us move to the next one. An electron is lying initially in n is equal to 4 excited state. The electron de-excites itself to go to n is equal to 1 state, directly emitting a photon of frequency V41. If the same electron first de-excites to n is equal to 3 by emitting a photon of frequency V43, then goes to n is equal to 3 to n is equal to 1 state by emitting a photon of frequency V31, then which of the following statements is true? So it is looking very confusing, but let me explain you with a sketch. So this is the diagram. So here I have shown the 4 orbits. Okay, so how can the electron from the 4th orbit go to the 1st orbit? It can go, because 4 is at a higher energy state, 1 is at a lower energy state. In fact, the lowest energy state is called the ground state. So how can be the path from 4 to 3, 3 to 2 and 2 to 1? Or can it go 4 to 3 and 3 to 1? Yes, it can go. So in the second way, second orbit you are skipping. Look at the third one, 4 to 2, 2 to 1. Here your third orbit you are skipping. You are directly taking the electron from 4th to 2nd and 2nd to 1. So in the question actually 4-3-1 combination is used. Okay. So for 4-1 he is saying frequency is 4 V41 or mu 41. So mu 41 is equal to 4 to 3 it jumped. So mu 43 plus mu 31. Okay. Option A is the right answer. So basically it is like this. With example I am telling you, fourth orbit, let us say frequency is 100 and it has jumped to first orbit, let us say frequency is 20, frequency is dropping. So 100 to 20 there is a drop. How much? 80. Okay. So that 80 drop can be written as 60 plus 20, let us say. So from 4th to 3rd, the 100 jumped to 60 and 60 jumped to 20. So what is the drop now? The drop is 80. So you can write 60 plus 20, isn't it? So like that it is. So V41 from 4th to the first orbit is equal to V43, 4th to 3rd orbit plus 3rd to first orbit. Okay. This is called, I think, continuation combination. Okay. Different combination can be worked out. But here you cannot say that from lower to higher you cannot write. Higher to lower only you have to write. The allowed energy for the particle for a particular value of n is proportional to, in the option A, B, C, D, you have to choose which is the right one. This question has come in J 2009. A is the node to node distance. So you have seen in this stationary wave concept, I have shown the diagram over there. The node to node distance is A here. So that A value is how much? It is an integral multiple of lambda by 2. Okay. So A is equal to lambda by 2. Okay. A is equal to n lambda by 2. Now a moving particle, a matter wave, will have a momentum. So the kinetic energy E is equal to p square by 2m. Now how do we get this momentum? Means we can apply, because it's a matter wave, we can apply the concept of de Broglie's wavelength. De Broglie's wavelength, P is equal to h upon lambda. So substituting this P value in the original equation, you get E is equal to h square by 2m lambda square. Now lambda square value we can get from this expression from the stationary wave. Lambda will be 4a square by n square. Just substitute that. You get final expression for E is equal to h square n square divided by 8m a square. H, 8, m, all are constants here. Okay. For the time being you can say n is also constant. Then a can vary. So E is proportional to a power minus 2. Just to match with the options, we are calling all other things as constant. So option A is the right answer. A silver sphere of radius 1 cm and one function 4.7 electron volts is suspended from an insulating thread in free space. It is under continuous illumination of 200 nanometer wavelength light. As photoelectrons are emitted, the sphere gets charged and acquires a potential. The maximum number of photoelectrons emitted from the sphere is a into 10 to the power of 2, where a is 1 less than a less than 10. The value of z is, okay. This question has come in J 2011. So I have drawn a diagram. There is a insulated thread, okay, and there is a sphere. Its radius is 1 cm. It is subjected to a light rays of 200 nanometer wavelength. So our expression is this: hc by lambda minus work function is equal to EV. Alright. Now the potential definition as per our electrostatic chapter is kq by r, where q is the total charge. Q is equal to n times E. So let us say n electrons are involved, so n multiplied by the charge of each electron. So if you substitute, you get here, see there is a E here and there is a E already in the equation, so you will get E square, remember that. So let us calculate the left hand side, hc by lambda minus 5. So hc value I told you 1240 in electron volts and nanometer divided by 200 minus work function is given as 4.7, so you'll get 1.5 electron volts. Units, we have to be very careful, so we have to convert that into SI units, so you have to multiply into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Coming to the right hand side, the equation becomes NE square by R into K. What is R? R is the radius of the sphere, which is given as 1 centimeter, and K value is 9 into 10 power 9. This we have done in the electrostat chapter, So from here you can calculate the value of N. You will get N value as 9.375 into 10 power 7. Just do the calculations and see. But in the question it is written as it should be in the form of A into 10 to the power of 2. So A into 10 square is equal to 9.375 into 10 power 7, or A is equal to 9.375 into 10 to the power of 5. If it has been asked as an integer question, it is 9.3, so you can round off and say that it is 9.5. Okay, so this question has come in the advance actually, so note down. So answer is this much. Okay, understood the method what I have done? Basically two chapters have been mixed here. One is a work function concept, another concept is from the electrostat chapter.